Hello and welcome back to the channel. Now we're going to cover up the backlash to rule them all, every controversy about the Rings of Power so far. Ooh, this should be an interesting one. Without further ado, let's get into the story. First of all, let's just get into it. Let's just get into the bullet-pointed issues, the rawest backlash. The most pressing and yet most depressing inevitable controversy has been the wave of keyboard warriors ranting about wokeness. Lenny Henry, for example, plays a proto-hobbit. Again, admitting that he's a hobbit. Thank you. Now, keep in mind that J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay gaslit us and told us that he's not a hobbit, that he's a Harfoot, and therefore not a hobbit, even though Tolkien tells us in his writings that Harfoots are most definitely hobbits. But someone is a gaslighting, lying piece of crap, which has caused a noisy minority of viewers to complain that Amazon has ruined their favorite thing. Now, we're not complaining that Amazon has ruined it simply because they have people of color in the show. That is not what we're getting at. Nobody ever argued that. Now, what did get argued is, where was this in Tolkien? Where is this in the lore? Where are you going with this? Why are you doing this? Are you going to do this to inject woke politics? Are you using this to inject identity politics? And honestly, the showrunners have been all over the place on this. They've been telling us, look, we're going to be faithful. This is going to be a faithful adaptation. We care about Tolkien. And then they tell us, no, this is going to be a modern interpretation of Tolkien. We need to make it modern because Tolkien is problematic and has racial optics problems. Now, and then they turn around and again, they tell us, no, we're going to be faithful. This is Tolkien. This is Tolkienian. We are being Tolkien-esque. And then they turn around again and tell us, no, this is the novel that Tolkien never wrote. I mean, make up your fucking mind. Jeez. They were so excited about the series, and now it has all been spoiled. No, we are excited about the series, and the reason why it's been spoiled is because exactly what we knew you were going to do is what you did. And there is a scene in the show between a reindeer and a white man in a bar, it looks like. And it's so on the nose that it's terrible. It's like Punky Brewster and a very special episode of Blossom, where you lecture your fans on how racism is bad. No shit, it's bad. You don't need to tell us that. Look, here's my thoughts on how you treat other people. Don't hurt other people. I don't need a fucking lecture on racism, okay? I already know it's bad. And I already think that you should treat other people with respect when they treat you with respect. And I already think that you should, generally speaking, not harm other people unless it's in self-defense. And that's pretty much the only exception that I have to that. Fuck off already. I don't want to watch a fucking Punky Brewster episode. I'm not a 7-year-old. I don't need a message from a very special Blossom episode. I'm not a 9, 10, or 11-year-old. I'm an adult, and you should treat your fans with respect, and you should treat them like they're an adult. But you don't do that. Amazon blocking reviews. Yes, Amazon is blocking reviews. They initially said that they were going to do a 72-hour embargo on new reviews, but as we've seen, that has not changed yet. Those reviews are still not happening, and even worse than that is they don't allow you to see any negative reviews of the Rings of Power. We can look here at 1-star reviews, 2-star reviews, 3-star reviews, 4-star reviews, 5-star reviews. All of those are hidden. In fact, the only reviews you can see are 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now I can go to all reviews, show all, and I can see that there's an assortment here. It's sorted by helpfulness. 7, 9, 10, 10, 7, 10, 9, 6. So I can see everything between 6 and 10. And I think hopefully these are helpful. There's actual an explanation of the person's point. But if that is what is critical for me to see, the explanation along with the ranking, then why am I not seeing some of these others, like a 5 or a 4 or a 3? If you look at the ratings, there are a significant number of ratings in this lower band. Sure, most of them are 10, 9, and 8, but how do I know how authentic those are? Because you seem like, well, we know that you're hiding reviews, probably deleting reviews then. The thing with all the 10 stars and the 1 stars, they're both bad, but there's more 10 stars than 1. And why aren't you hiding those? because clearly this show is not a 10-star show. And you're not doing this with House of the Dragon, where I can see 9 stars, but I can also see a 4-star review. And again, there's plenty of explanation for us to read through as to why this person thinks this isn't a good show. And that's what I want to see when I want this stuff. I don't need you to curate for me, okay? Curate a little bit, but blocking out all negative reviews, that's absolute horseshit. More racism. Although diverse casting has done a lot to slow it. No, again, it's not about the diverse casting. Look, Corlys from House of the Dragon, doing a bang-up job. Everybody had their concern about him because it was diverse casting. Because again, it frequently turns into pandering and tokenism, but good for the House of Dragons showrunners and producers that they said specifically that's what they didn't want it to turn into, and good that they kept that promise. Corlys has not, so far as I've seen, turned out to be, pandering or tokenism in any way. This is a well-written character. He has good lines, and at no point does he stand up and extol the needs of people of color or talk about, anything to do with race or anything like that. He's just a character with good dialogue that tells us who he is, and that dialogue and who he is has nothing to do with the color of his skin. And that's exactly how I wanted this character to be portrayed. I admit I had my concerns, but you know what? They are doing an amazing job, so good for them. Shame on you, Amazon. Accents and even more racism. One of the oddest choices is to make all the Harfoots, you mean the hobbits, the aforementioned prototypical hobbits? Thank you for including that. Irish. They all speak in hammy accents, are charming peasants, and their every move is soundtracked by composer Bear McCreary's aggressively annoying Celtic trilling. Now keep in mind that this is supposed to be Celtic mythology. That is what Tolkien was attempting to write. And so I don't necessarily have a problem with them attempting this, but obviously they should have done a better job because a lot of people are saying it sounds like stage Irish. Well, now those same people also don't like the stage Irish. So are these white supremes who don't like the POCs? They also hate the Irish too? Is that what this is? I mean, make up your mind. Are they the supremes or do they hate Irish? Which one is it? I think that just goes to show that there's no merit to these arguments. Disa's beard, and this was a huge one. Now, people also pointed out that Disa lives underground and so probably should be melanin challenged. Again, it's something that we've never seen before, but I could probably get past this. I do think it would be an issue for her and her health, though. But what people are saying about Disa, even though she doesn't have a beard, and I think that's a legitimate criticism, is that, well, she's actually one of their favorite characters in the show. Now, I don't know if that's her dialogue is better or the actress is just knocking it out of the park. But in any case, the people who somehow hate all of the POC characters because of the racism actually like Disa. That's very interesting too. Galadriel's armor. Now, Galadriel, again, is being misrepresented here, and she's not being represented the way Tolkien represented her. She never commanded the northern armies, and she doesn't need to wear armor. And I will also say this, that the only battling that we've ever seen her do was in The Hobbit. That one I kind of gave a pass to because I thought it was somewhat believable that she would do that she would come to the aid of someone who was trapped in Dol Guldur, which is what she was doing. She was helping to rescue Gandalf. Now, in that moment, I was like, okay, I haven't seen Galadriel act this way before, but it seems okay. Now, I'm not saying that Galadriel is not powerful. After all, she was the person who wrecked Dol Guldur, and she tore it down to its foundations. That's how powerful she is. And you're telling me she needs a fucking sword and a shield? She did that without a sword and shield. That's how fucking powerful she is. Now, if you wanted to present her properly, you would have presented the elves in the snow troll scene as fighting the snow troll and giving it a good fight, but it's simply too powerful. And that she needs to come in and help them. And then she comes in and together they slay it. Not oh, look at all these incompetent male elves, and then Galadriel comes in and is the fucking savior, making her look like a Mary Sue. You create your own problems. So those are the issues that are, generally speaking, genuine issues with this whole project. So I gotta give credit where credit is due on Guardian for covering these things and how they covered them in general in this. Although they could have been a little more genuine in how they covered some of the earlier claims, especially about racism, and they didn't cover the misogyny that people supposedly have, even though these same people who don't like Rings of Power like House of Dragons, which is a show that has many strong females in it. And it's simply because they don't like how Galadriel is being portrayed. And yet these people have no problem with the way that women, strong female characters are being portrayed in House of the Dragon, or how they were portrayed in Game of Thrones. So you can see that all of these claims about the Wham hating and the Rossism are absolute BS in the end. Look, fans are not going to give you a free pass because, well, they're fans. It's what they do. They hold you accountable. They expect you to hold to the lore. They expect you to hold to the canon. And if you don't, they expect you to do a good job in any way that you deviate and to have an explanation for why you're doing it. And yeah, if the excuse is inclusivity or diversity, then they're not going to be too kindly because they are anticipating the woke horseshit that you're getting ready to inject into something that they love. I don't know if you'll ever be able to explain it to these people. But that is the backlash about Rings of Power. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. In the meantime, if you want to continue to smash the narrative, then smash the like, subscribe, and share buttons, and I will see you in the next video. Have a great day.